Ram Dass, a shared death experience. I had a shared death experience the day that Ram Dass died here on Maui, and it will blow your mind. Be sure to stay tuned because at the end I'm going to be sharing about when I went to his wake and was able to put my hands on his body, and he took me to an extraordinary place. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Hi and welcome. I'm Lisa Jones, and I had a shared death experience in 2004 that woke me up to life and opened me to being a channel of the beings of love and light. And ever since then, I've had a roller coaster of a life, and I am so excited to start sharing with you my journey of the ups and the downs of being a channel, and how I can help you, if you've had a spiritually transformative experience, how you can implement this into your life and how it can help you live your life more fully and live the art of living happy. Actually, that's the name of my book. I wrote a book, The Art of Living Happy After the Loss of a Loved One. And that's kind of my philosophy in life, is that, you know what, you get a choice of how you want to live. You can either be happy about it or you can not be happy about it. But whatever you're imagining or experiencing in your brain, you're going to bring into life. So it's a good idea to always think good thoughts and to imagine the way you want things to be rather than focus on the negative. So my experience with Ram Dass. First and foremost, I moved here in 2017, and within the first 2 weeks, I met a dear friend who invited me to an event that Ram Dass was hosting to raise money for his foundation, his Seva Foundation. And they had an extra ticket, and I said, great, I'd love to go. Well, it turned out it was his caregivers plus one ticket. So I was sitting right next to Ram Dass for this 2-hour fundraising event, which was extraordinary. And I have to say, I was looking around, and a lot of people that had been with Ram Dass for 20 plus years were looking at me going, who is she? Who's this new person that's all of a sudden sitting right next to Ram Dass during this extraordinary event? So I felt quite privileged and quite lucky to have landed right there with Ram Dass. And then over the years, we just kept running into each other. I did a death doula class, and he came, and I was able to witness his teaching about walking each other home, and that was extraordinary. I was then invited with his community to swim with him down at the beach, which was so much fun. And then the day that he died, which was December 22nd, 2019, and I remember that day very specifically because for whatever reason I had had a nap in that day, and I had just gotten up from my nap. I was kind of just walking next to my bed, and all of a sudden I got a big shove on my shoulder that literally pushed me onto the bed. I fell down, and out of my mouth said, Ram Dass, what are you doing? And I looked around and I thought, well, that was something weird. Why did I just say that? Well, it turns out about an hour later, I received a text message that Ram Dass had passed away. And so that made total sense to me that, that actually he had pushed me off his feet, that he did a little drive-by and just wanted me to know that he was on his way out. Well, then the next day, which was Monday, that first day was, so the 22nd was a Sunday, and then Monday, the 23rd, I was at a chiropractor's office, and I was laying on the table, and all of a sudden I felt this energy come right above me. It felt like a blanket just kind of hovering above me. And I could hear Ram Dass talking to me. It was a telepathic communication. He said, Lisa, I am here with you. And I just thought, oh my gosh. And so telepathically I said back to him, I'm like, Ram Dass, go to the light, go to the light. He said, Lisa, you are the light. And then his whole energy just descended and went right onto the top of my body. And I just started crying tears of gratitude and love. And it was the most beautiful experience to have his energy just go right into my body. Well, then on the 25th, I was invited to his home to celebrate his life, and they were holding his body there that we could all pray around and be with him as he was transitioning out of his body. And so on that day, I sat in the room with his body and for probably an hour or more, just praying and sending him love. And then I walked up to his body. His hands were on his chest, and I put my hands on his chest. And all of a sudden, I closed my eyes, and he said, let's go. And the next thing I know, he shot us into space. He took me all around the planets to all the other galaxies. It was the most extraordinary ride I had, and I was so grateful that he was able to take me on that amazing spiritual journey with him in the last few, minutes that I had to spend with his physical body. And so anyway, I just wanted to share this amazing experience with Ram Dass, and also to let you know that if you've had a spiritually transformative experience, let me know in the comments below. I like to interact with you and hear about your experiences. I had the Exploring Death podcast where I interviewed near-death experiencers for 2.5 years, and you can also find that. There's a playlist on my channel here that you can find. And in fact, here's one of them you can listen to right now.